So this is a really sad story. This is the story about a 19-year-old sister who was unalived outside of a New York bodega after they denied advances from a stranger. It was a set of twin sisters. They both went out. They were both injured. One just did not pull through based off of the extent of her injuries. So this is something that I do want to speak on and give my opinion on. I'm going to show you guys the video from actually what happened before any of the physical things took place. I'm going to show the person who is the one who did it and what happened. So
let's go.
That's it, yeah.
So this is the gentleman who is the one who's at fault for all of the assaults that happened that night. And of course, what led to the younger girl also, like I said before, being unalived. He is 20 years old. The twins were 19 years old. Again, this happened in New York outside of a bodega. And I believe that this happened about like 1 or 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, where the twins and along with it, I think it was a family friend that it was reported, went out to, go get I'm not sure, New York, when it comes to New York and lifestyle, is very different. Like when it comes to like getting food or anything like that, like if you live in certain places, there's a lot of restaurants or corner stores and stuff like that would not be necessarily open besides like a 7-Eleven or anything like that. But in New York, when it comes to the bodegas, they are open pretty much around the clock. Like you can go get a sandwich that you would get like in the afternoon at 3 o'clock in the morning when you're hungry. You can go get eggs, you can get a bag of chips, you can get something to drink. Like it is very much like that kind of lifestyle where it's very normal that if you are hungry or you want something in the middle of the night, that you can go up the street and go to your local bodega, get something to eat. And it's very common, right? It's not something that is strange or seems like weird that somebody would do. From what I've seen of this situation, let me start with the young man. Let me start with that. You see, whenever these situations happen, I think that there is a strong ideology that there's this big, like, oh, women are being targeted and, nobody likes women and women are unsafe and women are protected and are unprotected. And like, there's so much harm out there that there's men who are just hunting and on the hunt to try to harm women. And I think that is a very dangerous narrative to paint. But also, I think that it is important to realize that if you are outside anywhere at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning, no matter what state you live in, you are, it is very obvious that there is danger that could be around, right? And it's not just necessarily from a man, it's just from people in general. You're not in your home. There's not a lot of people who are bystanders on the street. There's not a lot of people who are around. You are susceptible to more things happening, and you have to be on guard and very aware of your surroundings and aware of the things that you do and the way that you move when you are outside in that way. Okay, so I just want to be very clear about that. This young man was clearly on something. Okay, I don't know if he was intoxicated. I don't know if he was, took something. I'm not sure. But everybody else around him, as we could see through the video, was acting way more calm. And he was on 100. Like just from the beginning, we just see that he is all the way up here and nobody else is vibrating that high. As he opened the door, we could hear a lot of arguing from back and forth. We hear women voices arguing and we hear men voices arguing. Now, what I'm going to say is I feel that there is so much conversation about how, these men need to learn how to take rejection, and these men need to learn how to do this, and these men need to learn how to do that. And, women shouldn't have to wear certain clothes. Women shouldn't have to say certain things. But I think it's also very vital that we have the conversations, that we have to understand that every argument is not worth it. You don't know what somebody's level of crazy is. And this goes for women and men. You could be a man arguing with somebody about a parking spot. It's not that deep. It's not that deep. People are battling things that you have no idea about. And from my personal opinion, I look at it as, I don't know your level of crazy. I don't know what you're going through. I don't know if this is the straw that broke the camel's back, but I cannot engage in any kind of argument, any kind of discourse, any kind of problems with you, because I don't know where your head is at. I know where mine is. I can't say where yours is. I can't say that. This person was clearly off their rocker. And I'm going to get to the form of rejection, but I think that there is, I've said this before on various different videos, but I think that rejection and disrespect is two different things. I think that you can respectfully decline. I think that you can respectfully not engage. I think that you can walk away in situations. I don't think that everything needs a response. I don't think that you need to berate somebody because they're not your type or you don't find them attractive and you just want to tear them down and embarrass them in front of their friends from head to toe. I don't think that that level is necessary. And before people think that I am any way, shape, or form victim blaming, which I would never. Okay, I am not doing that in the least bit. As a woman, I'm giving my point of view to help prevent future situations of this magnitude. And I think that we need to do that. I think that we have to stop, just saying, oh, we can't look at the other party, because you cannot be responsible for what somebody else does. You cannot. You can only be responsible for yourself in the way that you act, in the way that you are either putting, water on the flame to dim it, or if you are putting gasoline on the flame. I think it is so important that we have that conversation with younger women. Don't be going out here arguing with nobody or getting an attitude with somebody or, inciting some kind of problems with people. People are crazy. Let's be real. People are going through things. They don't know you. This is not your homeboy in high school that you could just jones with or, say some kind of your mama this and your mama that, and they just going to take it on the chin. You don't know these people. And we have to be able to dial it back. Know when enough is enough. Know when you don't have to have the last word. Know when you don't have to respond. And what's sick is that, I don't even know if it was this young woman who was arguing, if it was somebody that she was with. But look at the cause. I mean, look at the effect. For what? When it comes to this young man, again, I don't know what he was on. I don't know where his mindset was at. I don't know what he was thinking. But what I do know is that in any case, when it comes to your level, your limit, you see, there's a lot of these young people. I'm trying to figure out what they're coping from. Because they got the lean and the pills and the this and the that. And they're taking in so many things that are diluting their reality. This is not a video game. This is not a do-over. This is real life. And you're doing these things and they have very big repercussions. Not only did you end, somebody else's life, but you ended yours as well in the same process. And the mind state and the thoughts that you have that are going to come with that, that's a whole different ball game. But how dare you? How dare you? It was mind-boggling to me that even this young man was obviously so out of control that his friends could not even tame him. His friends, when they saw him getting riled up, they just turned their head. So it looks like this is some kind of behavior that they're used to from him. That they're used to seeing, that they're used to seeing him do. Sometimes to be cool, they just leave the homie around. Like, okay, well, that's just how he is. He just go off and he go this and he go that. And, they don't want to get involved and they know what he's capable of. Sometimes it's important, too, to say, hey, y'all need to just go. Stop talking to him. Just go. Don't involve yourself. Don't respond. Just leave it alone. Because he's not too right. This is why it's important that children have two parents in the home as well. This is one of the main reasons. Because as they said, statistics have shown children who are in the house with just their mother, they are prone to incarceration, committing crimes, failing school, all the bad things. But when a father is present, when a man is present, especially when you're raising a man, they have somebody that they feel inferior to. It creates a certain regulation, a certain cap, a certain I can't trip because I know how my dad is going to respond. I know how he's going to act. It's very vital. This is a terrible situation. This reminds me of the story where the girl was in, I believe she was in another country, where they went to some kind of club and they had on short skirts and short dresses. And, somebody was just walking the street. Some crazy person was walking the street. And, this other girl jumped up and got in the guy's face. And it nearly cost her life. And for what? Go toe to toe with a man for what? For what? You don't like him. You don't want him. You don't know him. His opinion doesn't matter. If you're walking away and he says something about you and he called you ugly, you wasn't fine anyway, to have it. Have it. I think that there needs to be a certain mentality where it's like, you don't be embarrassed by that. Don't be embarrassed by just walking away. Don't be embarrassed by saying, who cares what he has to say about me? I don't care. I don't want him anyway. I don't have to call him names. I don't have to berate him. I'm not interested. I'm just not interested. Let me just keep it pushing. I'm just not. Soft answers really do turn away wrath. They really do. And again, this message as a whole is for both men and women, young men, young women. It's not worth it. You don't need to be arguing with nobody. You don't need to be having no road rage. You don't need to be where somebody looked at you a certain way. Let it go. Let it go. Because now there's so many family members that are involved in this situation that are grieving. His family and her family. A lot of his family is grieving maybe the young man that they thought they knew. It's terrible. They're so young. No life yet. They're so young. This is awful. And what I noticed is that, even in the video, he was saying something like, who trashed me? Or who trashed me? Who's talking bad about me? He came back in the store. He's asking, who's talking bad about me? Who's talking about me? Who said it? Who said this? Who said that? And then when he went outside, it looked like, at some point somebody had pushed him. It just looked like mess. And any kind of mess that late at night is you just know that don't sound good. It just doesn't feel good. It feels like something's going to be off. It's heartbreaking. Listen, let me say this again as well. It's not just about men outside, it's about crazy outside. Do you know that there are women who will lure other women into situations? It's not just the men you have to worry about. It's people. It's people. You have to be careful and cautious when you are out and about at certain times. It's just reality. We don't live in a, especially in I mean, come on. But this is not a place where you can just, leave your doors unlocked and this and that. And you can just trust everybody to have a certain mindset. That's not reality. That's just not the truth. You have to be wary of people. You have to be cautious of what you're doing. You have to be cautious of interaction. The focal point should be that, you guys want to go home. Not getting caught up in the mess. This is terrible. This is terrible. I saw a lot of people saying stuff like, we need to teach younger men how to deal with rejection and this and that. And, it's because of this and parenting and stuff like that. I mean, I think that there's a lot to be said about that as well. There's a lot of people who are raising their kids to be their friend. They want to be cool in their kids' eyes. The first time they hear no is from the outside, and then life happens. So a lot of times, like I said before, it's a woman alone raising a child that she can't even say much to him because he's grown. He don't listen to her no way. Because that male authority was not there. And sometimes, I'm not saying in this particular situation because I don't know their backstories, either one of them. But sometimes you done, badmouth his dad so bad that he doesn't have respect for authority, period. It creates a certain entitlement. And it's a domino effect. Again, I think that we also need to teach our young girls as well. And again, I'm saying this because prevention is better than cure. That's why I'm saying it. Sometimes it's vital to teach our young girls that rejection doesn't mean disrespect. It doesn't mean clowning. It doesn't mean going so far to try to break that person's ego and embarrass them in front of their friends because you just want to show that you're so hot and you got it like that. I'm not saying that this young woman did that. I'm not saying that. I don't know the backstory. I'm just speaking overall. I'm using this situation to have a broader conversation, especially to my younger girls. It's important. I genuinely, I hope that her mother, I know her mother is going through it. I saw like a little bit of a news clip of it, and I really hope that her heart is healed in some magnitude with this situation. I know she will never be the same. None of their families will ever be the same. His family will never be the same. Her family will never be the same. And it's just a horrible situation. Her twin, the trauma that they have to go through, it's absolutely horrifying. Horrifying. I'd like to know what you guys think about this in the comment sections down below. I would love to hear you guys' opinions on this video. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. And I will see you guys in the next one. Love you.